Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. It's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. This is our first live for the new year. Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Let me shout out my people first. Shout out to all the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to my people coming in from work. Extra special big up shout out to all the people who work two jobs. You are so dedicated and you are strong, okay? We're not robbing anybody. We're not stealing from anybody. We believe in getting up and getting out and getting to work, working for what we want. You know what? Actually, let me continue with the shout outs first. Shout out to my truck drivers, my Uber drivers, those people who drive for a living out there on the road. Shout out to my brother Troy Trucking. Shout out to every single good, clean-hearted person that wants good for other people as much as they want good for themselves. It's called karma, baby. Karma. Sow that seed. All right? Sow that seed so you shall reap. Big up to myself. Shout out to my retirees, my stay-at-home moms and dads. Shout out to every single person tuning in right now. Listen, warning, warning, warning. Our first live for the new year. I actually forgot that it was Friday because I've been so busy and I'm keeping myself extra busy. And I went to bed really, really late last night. And then I jumped up this morning and I was like, oh my God, it's Friday. And I remember last week, a whole bunch of people hit me up and said, SouFlo, what happened to it's the freaking weekend. I missed it. I look forward to it. I was on the train going to work. I kept checking in. No. Okay. I owed you that one. So here we are. It's the freaking weekend, baby. Make sure you heed all the signs, okay? Make sure you heed all the signs. I'm going to talk about this particular story, which my subscribers wanted me to talk about since about the 6th of January, a few days ago. You see me? I always tell my audience, listen, love yourself. Love who you're with also. We're social human beings. We look for somebody to love. Okay? And everybody wants to be loved. But some of us are so desperate for love that we take abuse. And we love somebody so much that we take abuse. And we can't differentiate abuse from love until it gets all dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Now, this particular story, we started the year out with I love you person ended up killing the person that they claim they loved. People, if you're with someone that ever says anything to you about me will kill you, or I'm thinking about killing you, or if you do that, I would kill you, I think that's your point where you start plotting your escape. Okay? Don't sit around and wait for somebody to actually take your life. And like I said, some of us grow up in some messed up conditions that we are unable to differentiate love from abuse. And we're so desperate to be loved that we end up taking abuse and making excuses for people that abuse you. Oh, maybe it's not him, maybe it's me. Maybe I was talking too aggressive that time. Maybe I hurt her ego that time. Maybe I say her because there's some men out there that's getting some serious abuse as well. Real life story, real quick. Real life story, real quick. I was in a relationship one time. Of course, this was a long time ago, but I was in a relationship one time, and my leaving point was when she said, you know, I was even standing up over you with the knife, and I was just thinking like how I'm going to push it in your chest. And when she said that, that was the last day I slept in that house. And she had the nerve to ask me, why you not coming home? Oh, you run away now? You gone now? Yeah, I'm gone now. Bye. I left so quick. I left all my stuff. I actually took a plastic bag, which we call a scandal bag in Jamaica, because when I go grocery shopping, I normally use the bags again. And I put like my garbage in them and whatever, right? So I'm recycling in a sense then. I grabbed one of those from downstairs. I doubled it. I threw 2 underwears, 2 shirts, 2 pants, and I was on a bicycle. I didn't even take my car. I left the car in the parking space downstairs because I didn't even want her to see that I was leaving. I act like I was going for a ride, and I just rode up out of there. And that is how fast you need to leave. Yes, run, Forrest, run. And I swear to God, real life story, and that's exactly what I did. That picture of her standing over me while I was sleeping, contemplating how to push the knife into my chest, and then had the nerve to say it. You know, I was just standing over you with the knife, and I was just thinking how I was going to push it into your chest. Bye. Anyhow, this story. Ohio couple, right? I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard it. An Ohio couple and their 2-year-old daughter, they were found dead inside their fire-ravaged home at New Year's Day. And they're saying that they died of a murder-suicide that was carried out by the father. A little more about the story is that they're both from Jamaica. The father is from Jamaica and the mother is from Jamaica. The death of Narissa Destin, she was a 33-year-old registered nurse. She worked at the Mount Carmel Rehabilitation Hospital, and they had a 2-year-old named Serena Morris, both considered to have been murdered. Well, at first when the news came out, the fire department was saying they were being sketchy about it because the fire department was saying that, or the investigators were saying that one of the 3 persons that died in that fire did not die from the fire. They died from their own doing. And then, of course, further investigations led to, so the couple and their daughter were found dead on January 1st at their 2-story southeast Columbus home shortly after neighbors called in a report of a fire. When firefighters arrived at the house was already engulfed in flames. The firefighters found Dustin Morris, and he's 42 years old, at about 7:40 p.m. Serena was discovered. It took them 90 minutes to find the little girl, and that house was fully on fire. So, you know, by the time they found her, what that little body must have looked like, right? I'm saying the heart of a man, the heart of, not a man, the heart of mankind could be so wicked. But I'm telling this story this morning, right? Because I was trying to figure out how do I go over this story with a lesson in life, a teaching point, instead of just regurgitating the doggone story. Because it's another sad story. And I connected to what happened on New Year's Eve to New Year's Day in Jamaica with the 24-year-old young lady at the wholesale shopping place and the married man that she was with, and how he shot her, killed her right there on camera in front of everybody. Because their situation was, now people are saying, oh, he spent a lot of money on her and he gave up his wife for her and she decided she didn't want to be with him. I've heard her, he spent $2 million Jamaican dollars to help her to fix up her parents' home and all this other stuff. And her family is saying that that's not the case. The case was that he misled her. They started an affair. Him and his wife was going through some things. His wife left the marital home and went to go stay at her mom's home because apparently he had put hands on her, right? So now you have a side chick, and side chick believes you're going to leave wifey for her. It turns out the girl decided she's starting off a new year fresh. I don't want to be a side chick. You told me that this was going to be over with. It's not being over with. I want somebody else for me. I want somebody that I can be with for me. I don't want to be hiding around, running around with you. And he used to take her out to public and all that. Every time him and the wife would fight, he would go out. People saw them together all the time. So people knew, right? She decided she wanted to be with somebody else, not him. And that is where he lost it. So he didn't want his wife to leave him. He didn't want his side chick then to tell his wife everything. So he wanted to keep side chick and wife. And he wanted to keep her in a side chick position. This crazy people. Crazy people. There's a bunch of crazy people out there. And the funny thing is the crazy people come into your life with a smile and pretend they have the best intentions. And they pretend for long enough. I'm warning y'all, man. They pretend for long enough till they get that noose around your neck. And then the pretending stops. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very careful. Now, Cara White told ABC6 that Diston was a victim of domestic abuse. She was being abused by her man already. So he didn't just wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to kill our little daughter. I'm going to kill you. My head attack me. And I'm going to set the house on fire and kill myself too. This was something that she was warned about. It's on record she was warned. Now you would say to yourself, this is a registered nurse. She's 30-something years old. She know what abuse look like, right? Registered nurse, you don't just become a registered nurse or RN overnight. You go through some studies to include psychological studies. So you have an idea of how the human mind works, and you have an idea of abuse, and you have an idea of abnormal behavior. And yet still, in her own life, she was unable to save herself. She was unable to see the warning signs. You know, they had 2 other children, and lucky for the 2 other children, they were in the neighborhood visiting neighbors. And this is when he chose to do it. So it is on record that this man deliberately told her a few months back that he was thinking of how to kill her in her sleep and then kill himself. You heard that? So that's why I started this video off by saying I've had that in my own personal life. It was a long time ago, but I remember it. And the first time I heard that, I was standing over you with the knife just thinking how to push it into your chest. I looked at her, and that was the last night I spent in that house. The last night. These relationships are hard to let go, especially when you have a child or children involved, especially when you're financially invested, emotionally invested. You know, you're talking about you're living together, you're paying bills together, probably have a bank account together, all kinds of stuff together. It's just, it's hard to just up and cut. But I'm telling you, man, to save your life, you will look back years later and you will laugh. You will look back years later and you will thank yourself for making that hard right. I don't care if you have to go be alone and cry every day and all that. Go do it. Trust me. Time will heal that wound and you will get over that. Now, well, some people say the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. I don't support that theory because most of the times when you jump from one relationship to the next, you don't have time to take a step back and look at yourself. Because everything that happens in our life has to do with us as well and our choices. You know what I'm saying? So people, out of desperation, the need to feel loved again, you go from one abusive person to another conniving, low-down kind of person, and it's all in your choice, and you keep wondering like, oh my God, how I end up in this again? Well, you never gave never gave yourself a break from the last relationship. You never got time to sort out your mental state, and you ended up choosing the same person again, just in a different form. Look different, but it's the same spirit again. Yes, exactly, Yvonne. You have to take your time to heal. You know what I'm saying? Take your time to heal. Be alone. And that's why on these morning thoughts, I always say, surround yourself with people that love you, but know what love is. And if there aren't any of those kinds of people around, it's okay to be alone. Go be alone. For some people, it's very hard to be alone. But listen, it gets easier. You will actually start enjoying being alone. I myself have mastered being alone. I kind of love being alone. My wife is the same way. She loves being alone too much. But that's how we are, actually. We both love being alone. And she could be in one part of the house, I could be in another part of the house, and we'll just be alone. And we get our alone time. And that's a personality. And if she goes to visit her family, I'm fine. And I'm alone in the house. I just get busy with work. And then I put the work away and I get busy with myself. Loving myself. Knowing myself. Going through stuff in my mind. Looking at myself in the mirror. And saying, self, you know what? You see this little flaw that you have right here? Like, know you. This little flaw that you have right here, you're going to have to fix that, man. Start working on fixing that. That's why I put out videos like the cantankerous spirit. And I didn't X myself out of it. I said, me too. Yeah? Because sometimes, you know, you have that part of you where this is when you start to master yourself. You start to master yourself when you're able to look at yourself and accept your flaws. Admit to having those flaws, especially flaws that are disruptive to a smooth process of your life, like your happiness. Those flaws, you need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, damn, that really is me. I keep doing that. I have times where I fly off the handle for no reason, or for small things that aren't really that big in the grand scheme of things. I look at myself and I say, you know what, brother, you could have let that go, you know. You could have really let that go. That didn't warrant all that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, try next time anything like that arises, anything like that happens, just hold your peace. Hold your peace, let it blow over. If you want to talk about it later. And I'm learning that from my wife even, because she's not the type of person that if anything happens, she wants to talk right away. She's the kind of person that likes to be left alone, and then she comes later. And I'm the kind of person that I like to get into it right away, not realizing that the anger is already there. It's a heightened moment. So anything you say after this is not going to be said. And you convince yourself that, no, I'm right. But over time, you have to get to where, and this all comes from being alone. Know yourself. This brother here didn't know himself. He didn't know himself. He was struggling with his demon spirits, and he gave into this kind of a thought process. The only way out is to kill my woman and kill my... I can't figure out how you come to that. A woman that loved you, gave herself to you, y'all have a relationship where children are being born out of it. You share a home together. You share a bed together. I could imagine her waking up and cooking breakfast for him. Baby, you all right? Honey, when things are good, right? I love you, babe, all that. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're like, I kill a girl one day, you know. Right now, I just try to figure out how to kill her and kill the picnic and kill myself. How? And it happens so much among our men that it's starting to actually become a trend. Me and Brains just did a video that we put up on her channel. This thing is starting to become a trend. I don't know if y'all notice it. And I don't listen to people anymore when they talk about Lord SouFlo, stop make Jamaican man or Caribbean man look bad. It happened everywhere in the world. I ain't talking about everywhere in the world. Me not care about them. I'm cleaning up my house first. Listen, this is starting to become a trend. It wasn't a trend before. 1 and 2 here and there. Matter of fact, honestly, we used to say stuff like, yeah, that's some white people stuff right there. Because white man always like kill himself, financial issues, he's going bankrupt, he kill him wife and kill himself. Or I really, now it's like every time I hear the story, first instinct, black, yep, you know it. Oh, damn, again? Another one? Black, yep, you know it. Man kills wife, then kills himself. Black, yep, you know it. Like, no, man, something must be wrong. Something is going on with, what is it with us that makes us think she wants to leave, but now make her leave, me I kill her. And you know, to the point where we even joke about it, and the woman, and they make joke like, oh, the pum pum must be really good and all that. Come on, stop, okay? Good pum pum is everywhere, but I never met a bad one in my whole life. I'm just saying. So it ain't that. It has to do with the man. It has to do with the man. Obsessive, narcissistic, man, borderline schizophrenic. All the sick mental states are going on here. And we have to know how to recognize the signs. What this one says, SouFlo, where I live, one man must go in the street, let tractor trailer flatten him down because his woman left him. Damn, they picked him up with a shovel. Yeah. Well, you know what? He wanted to take his own life. That's a sad state in itself. And people don't understand clinical depression, that once you get beyond a certain point, there are levels of depression that you can intervene and talk somebody out of and then get them some help. But when you get to a clinical level of depression, ain't no talking that person out of it. This person is now internal. They're wrestling with voices in their head. One is saying, yo, just take up the rope, right? Make sure you tie it like that we're here. Matter of fact, take your phone and look and see the kind of tie that I'm talking about. Cause this tie, this is a voice in the head. This tie ain't coming out. So when you put it round, make sure you jump from high enough, you know. All right, tomorrow we're going to choose a tree. All right, this is where we're going to jump from. They're in a whole different world. So for you to choose a painful death like that, just walk out in the street and you walk off in the train tracks and let a train run over you. You walk out in the street and let a tractor trailer hit you. That's painful enough. But sad to say, but at least him never kill him wife or his children. That's the part that I don't get. And that's the part that I say, even if it can't be just clinical depression. That person was narcissistic from the get-go and then fell into clinical depression. Because suicide is one thing, but killing your children and your wife and then yourself last, that's not just depression. That's not just depression. So this brother right here warned her. This is a warning that she ignored. She told her friends, but they probably laughed it off as well. He deliberately I'm reading it right now in People magazine. He deliberately, look at us making People magazine, Caribbean people. We make People magazine and not in a good way. He deliberately told her a few months ago that he was thinking of how to kill her in her sleep and then to kill himself. White said that Distin had sent her a text message in December saying that, watch this, attempt number 2. He had tried to stab her in the presence of their daughter. Stab after her and missed with the child there. And she ignored that one too. So a few months before, he told her he was trying to kill her. Come December, early December, he tried to stab her in front of her child, missed, and she ran. And wherever she was running and hiding from, she texting her people and she telling them, right? And she still went back. I don't understand that mindset, but I'm telling y'all as a warning for somebody that's listening and watching this today is going through something that's similar to this. Look at me. This is your warning. Pack your stuff and leave. Matter of fact, travel light. You can replace material things. Left. Go. Don't go back. Or else you're going to end up like one of these stories right here. All right? I keep telling my audience members that we're more connected than you would ever know. You understand? And sometimes when we say stuff, when my audience members, my subscribers, my viewers say stuff to me, sometimes it's a confirmation of a thought process that I've been having. And it's like, bing, confirmation number one. Bing, another person said confirmation number two. Okay, I'm going to hop on that. I'm not going to ignore that because that information did not just come my way just to be waste. White said Destin sent her a text message in December saying that Morris tried to stab her in the presence of their daughter. She got away. I told her not to go back. She said that she was not finished. This is the last straw. She started going to therapy. Oh, he started going to therapy. I think the last one was right before Christmas. The last therapy session was right before Christmas. She said that she was going to start to go with him. Okay, hear me out. I said before, these relationships are sometimes hard to let go of because of how much you have invested in them, right? If you so much want to stay and this person says, oh, because you know, abusers will be like, oh God, I'm so sorry, you know. Okay. You go to therapy while I disappear. Okay? That's how it's going to work. You go to therapy and fix yourself up while I disappear. I will give you a long length of time in therapy, but I'm not going to stay around while you're going to therapy. Look, she always said that he would kill the baby just the same because he didn't want to leave her. So this is something that she always said. This is a registered nurse, you know. A 33-year-old registered nurse. And she's leaving all these clues all around. Yes, girl, him try stab me in front of the baby, in front of our little daughter 2 days ago. Me run and escape. Destin, don't go back. Me have to go back. Me not finished yet. Me have unfinished business. Really? Then he's in front of her telling her, I'm thinking of ways to kill you and kill. And you still go back again. You knew so much that he was going to do it that you actually was telling people. She always said that he will even kill the baby the same way because he didn't want to leave her. So he didn't want to leave. He would say that the baby is his life. And he was thinking like to leave his baby without her mother and her father, it wouldn't make sense. I don't know. Or he doesn't want anyone else to raise her. Why kill the baby? It's just so inhumane. And that is exactly how this doggone story just ended. This is crazy. So his chain of thought for, I'm going to do an icon for this video and put it up, but I won't put the child in there. But the story is, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it. Anyhow, that's just doggone crazy, man. He didn't want anybody else to raise his daughter, and he couldn't see himself killing himself and leaving her for somebody else, for her to call another man daddy. So you'd rather kill your child than have her live a life. You already decided you're going to kill yourself. You're just trying to figure out how to kill the mom. What could this lady have done to this man so bad to make him think that he had to kill her and the baby and himself? Beautiful little girl. And it wasn't a matter of her cheating on him. It was just a matter of him being fed up with life and how things were going. He's not in control of everything. That's crazy. People, listen. I'm going to send you off this day with this warning. And like I said earlier, we don't link up by accident. When I come with some kind of a message, it's for somebody that's watching. Okay? And when you speak to me, I pay attention as well. Somebody is in one of these kind of relationships right now that's watching this. Pay attention. You've been given all the warning signs. Don't wait to get the last one, because the last one might be the last day you see life. Your last day on earth. Leave. Leave. So, as a thought, somebody said, SouFlo, I can see you're pissed. I'm more overly concerned. Cause this really I start bothering me now. I'm really starting to think like what's going on with our men is more like what I'm thinking. What's going on with our men? I'm a father. I have a daughter. I have a sister. I have sisters. This has to be concerning. This has to be concerning. And I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist, because sometimes I'll go off and I start thinking crazy stuff like, I wonder if it's some kind of experiment they're doing on us. Is it in the vaccination? Is it in the food supply that's only sent to a certain area where we are predominantly there? Is it like, I don't know. I'm just trying to work through it. I'm trying to work through it. Because this has to be concerning. If it was happening every now and then, bad and not so bad. But it's been happening every week. Every week. Another one, and another one, and another one. See, that's the thing. We have this, we especially us Caribbean people. I know we're strong people, right? So we think with a warrior mindset. So when somebody falls off to the point where they want to commit suicide or they want to kill people around them and kill themselves, and they're going through a mental crisis, we use words like, a weak one. When in fact, we're looking at mental illness in action that this individual has lost control over. And we're just not taking it seriously. We rather throw little words out there like, a weak him weak. Weak she weak. That it ain't weak. It's not just weak. It takes a hell of a mindset to make a final decision like that. You can't come back from that decision. That is the ultimate final. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see weakness in that. Because if you go up to the average person right now and say, put that rope here around your neck and climb up, tie it up right there so and jump, they look at you like you were mad. And if you tried to do it to them, they would fight tooth and nail not to have it done to them. It would be scary. So that ain't weak. That's a damn strong mindset. But it's a strong mindset in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? It's a strong in the wrong direction. Somebody says Stockholm Syndrome as far as the woman going back. Some women do fall into that, and men do too. And I said it earlier, it's like a lot of the times it has to do with the way we were raised as well. Like the same people that used to beat the daylights out of you, bust your head, bust up your mouth, wail up your body, or the same people that used to tell you, I love you. And this is instilled psychologically from a young age. So we grow up associating love with pain and anger. And it's okay if the person that I'm with hit me every now and then. We can work it out. Him not left me, man, and me not left him neither. That kind of stuff, you know? And we keep doing that until we're in one of those relationships where it's really thump down, pick up, slam, drag out, till knife come into play and all this other stuff. I don't know. I choose love. I choose real love. Real love starting with self-love. Let me end this video by saying this. Choose love. Choose love starting with self-love. If you love yourself, but you have to know yourself in order to love yourself. That's why I say spend time alone. If you love yourself, you won't accept certain things. Okay? I'm not talking about accepting a partner that can actually teach you stuff and better you as a person. Sometimes you run into people in life, in a relationship that makes you a better person, and you can learn from them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily, oh, you trying to change me, you trying to make me into the... When you're damaged, you go into a relationship like that, and then you meet a good person who you're about to damage because they think, oh man, I just love this person so much, you know, I could stick around for the BS. I could help them change. I used to say this one, I'm going to love you until you learn how to love yourself. You never know hurt until you start loving a damaged person. But ultimately, self-love is what it takes. Self-love is what it takes. When you love yourself first, you will demand certain things. And you don't demand it aggressively. You don't demand it by breaking up stuff and fighting with anybody. They will know what you bring to the table, and they will know where you stand with certain things. Understand? And they will know as soon as they breach that. Bye. Not sticking around for you to kill me. I'm not sticking around for you to even raise my blood pressure so much that my head feel like it's exploding, my heart's beating out of my chest. This is not healthy. You know what I'm saying? If you can't bring calm to my life to enhance what I'm already working on, I love you so much at this point that I would hate to see you go, and it's gonna hurt me. But I love me. I'm gonna get over that. So don't be afraid to throw them up. You see them? I'll be in a selfie just like this, and you will look back years later and you will laugh. Whew, I saved myself. I could just imagine what the females that he had been with before are thinking now. Yo, remember one time him used to beat you up, Tracy? Look what I'm gonna do to him, new woman. And Tracy somewhere going, whew, thank God I had the fortitude to walk away. Love you, but I gotta go. Yep. Sometimes I don't even stay around long enough to throw up no deuces. Just love you, but I gotta go. And I gotta go while I'm going. True. Yep. Be aware, man. Be very aware and understand that nothing is all anybody else. A lot of the times it's you too. Your choices invite these things into your life. Something that you're doing has invited this type of person, this energy into your life. You at some point felt like you needed this. So you invited this in. And for some reason, you saw early signs and you still stayed. And it's escalating. It's okay. Admit your faults. That's why it's important to spend time alone. Because when you spend time alone, you will start to realize, damn, I'm addicted to crazy people. Something about me keeps on putting me with the same kind of people. Oh, damn, I know what it is. I like to argue a lot. And when I'm with someone that's calm and loving and doesn't argue back with me, I don't feel validated and loved and appreciated. So I mash up them kind of good relationship there, and I go looking for somebody who argue back to the point where we start breaking stuff together. Fling this after him, you fling this back after me, and I gotta run and my adrenaline's pumping. I'm addicted to that crazy stuff. Oh man. Okay. I gotta fix that part of me. Trust me. Spend time alone. Alright? It's a freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up. We made it through another week. Cut this video out by saying, up, up, up. Nothing changed. That's wake up, wise up, and rise up. And of course, we have added health and wealth. And we're talking about health all around. We're talking about mental health, especially. We're talking about physical health, emotional, spiritual health. We're talking about financial health. Because sometimes financial health is not there. And then all of a sudden people have all other kinds of health fail because financial, they're all connected. So we're talking about all levels of health here. Okay? Bless up, people. Surround yourself with good people this weekend. And if they're not there, I'm going to repeat myself. It's okay to be alone. Pour yourself a glass of wine. Read a book. Watch your favorite shows and series. Log into SouFLoTV and watch some series. I'll put up some good videos for you this week. Like, it's okay to be alone. All right? Just love you. That's where it starts. Bless up. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Have a magnificent day and have a super magnificent weekend. All right? This is our first live for the year, and I'll be doing more of these for you. I got a lot going on, but I'll keep you on in the loop as we move forward. All right? Blessings to each and every one of you. Peace. I'm out.